You have to, and me, my own style of game is if you have the ball, you have to run the court. You will not have that privilege to do that in all the whole teams you play for. No coaches want help. Some coaches need set plays. I was not even meant to come for that championship. I think we were meant to go to festival for
Festival
qualifiers
yeah.
at Jos, and I was meant to come to Abuja.
Progression is one of the most exciting things that I like about Nigerian basketball. And there are very few players who have been progressive over time. Today with me, I have Thomas Agbo, who is one of the players who have grown through the ranks, from the grassroots level. He played in the different stages of the leagues, and now he's rolling with the big boys. Good to have you here, Thomas.
Good to have you too, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
This is The Bounce, your number one podcast in Nigeria for everything basketball and across Africa. So, Thomas, as it be like this, now you the hot. I like you to give us an idea, because I want my viewers to get a picture of the kind of player that you are.
All right.
So, in the last 3, 4, 5 months, you have won a couple of championships and a couple of MVPs. Can you take us through that?
Okay, I think let me start from December.
Okay.
December last year, I think we went for this tournament, Dam Foundation.
Yeah.
In Kogi State. Which our team then was not looking like the strongest, but
you went in as the underdogs.
Yeah, we went in there as the underdogs, despite the other team being very, very strong.
Yeah.
My teammates then were Patrick, Abodje, Tony, Prenko, Idoga.
Nothing special,
Nothing
just regular
special, just regular guys, random guys, ready to ball and ready to win things. I think we went there as the underdog, and by the grace of God, we came out successful as the.
And you won the MVP.
And we won the MVP. And I won the MVP.
Boy.
I think that's where I got the name from. I think at that tournament I dyed my hair gold, and
so
Tony
started calling him Golden Boy.
That's where the name was.
Yeah. So aside the Dam Foundation, which other championship did you win?
Going back to after the Dam Foundation, January we went for the Happy Tournament.
In Bauchi.
The Happy Tournament in Bauchi. Yeah, we went for the Happy Tournament in Bauchi, but with Markdown Flyers. But unfortunately, we lost in the semi-finals. Then we progressed to going to the third place game, which we actually won. So we came out third.
Oh, okay.
In Bauchi,
and then there was another tournament that was played in Kogi that you also won.
Yes. Midas concept. Yeah, I think we came in first again in that tournament, but. And Tony actually won the MVP there. And as a team player, normally MVP money is for the MVP, but as a team player, we agreed.
Shared it
with us. And
did you share your own MVP?
The same way we did.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And then I think late in December, or was it early January, when you participated in the Clash of Elites?
Yes, Clash of Elites.
The one-on-one championship.
The one-on-one championship in Titans.
Yeah.
I was not even meant to come for that championship. I think we were meant to go to festival for qualifiers at Jos, and I was meant to come to Abuja. I just said I should just try my luck, because when I saw the flyer of big players like Chinedu and the likes of them, the Wisdom, I was like, this guy is going to come for this time. Let me just sit back and just let it slide. But I just said, let me just pull up and see how it will be. Normally, it's Nigeria now. We all know how things go.
So you didn't go into the tournament with plans to go and win?
Nah, I just went there to have fun
and just dominated.
God brought it to me. I won everything.
Oh, great. So, talking about the Clash of Elite, who was your toughest opponent in that tournament?
Toughest opponent was actually AB Sambu.
Yeah,
I think Abraham Sambu was the toughest opponent. I think it was the quarter final. I was actually planning or wanting to play Austin in the semi-final, but God brought it to me that Sam took him out in the semi-final. I think the quarter-final also.
Yeah, the quarter-final.
Sam took him out in the quarter-final, which was very pleasing. I was happy because to face Austin at that point was going to be a good battle. Sam took him out. I was happy because facing Austin was going to be a tough one for me. But Sam took him out and did the job for me.
All right. So I'd like us to go back in time. So how was your background like? In basketball, how did you start? The little challenges you were facing in the early years and all.
I actually started power forward. Called power forward when it was still in Yeah, I started with power forward.
So power forward was a program run by the junior NBA in collaboration with Agbo. The program used basketball as a convening tool to educate youth, in-school youth on life skill and public health. Yeah, so he was part of the beneficiaries of the program for which school?
JSS Buses.
So that was where you started your basketball.
That's where I started. My first coach I had in power forward was Coach Sani. Hilltop.
Yeah, Hilltop Warriors. Shout out to Hilltop Warriors. So he was the one that introduced you to basketball.
He was the one that introduced me to basketball and everything. Wow. He was the one that my first coach, first person that ever told me of how to play basketball was Coach Sani.
Interesting. So, you know, before now, if not that you're saying it, the assumption has been that you're a product of Gilali basketball.
Yeah. After joining Power Forward, you know, if you join the program like that, it's not just end there. You have to find somewhere else to continue because Power Forward was like an in-school program and all. So I had to go out and find an academy which I would learn more from what I've learned through Power Forward. And there was a friend of mine, Seth, was training at Gilali then. So after training,
you go back.
I'll follow him and go to Gilali. So from Gilali, that's where everything started.
Interesting. And I remember those days when you used to come and play in the city league. That's your group. Your group. You guys usually lost, but I think it's like one of the things that actually helps you become the better, the good player that you are today. Playing against bigger players at a very young age.
And then we all were at not at the same level, but we had that kind of togetherness. Not knowing that okay, you are the senior. We took from Gilali, everybody's like equal. So I think that's what we use in our games mostly. Even if you don't come out victorious, anybody that plays Gilali will be like, these guys will not let us win this game, even if it's that hard. But Gilali was where you have to. If you are coming into Gilali, you know you are coming to fight for your jersey. Nobody's guaranteed the jersey. Everybody's coming there to fight. Everybody's coming there to play, and everybody's coming there to win. So I think from Gilali, playing the City League was another experience totally for me, because aside Power Forward, you are playing with your peers. So everybody's equal. But City League, there are some senior players that you have to respect. This guy has played basketball some certain years more than me, so you have to give them that respect. But we are still coming there to fight to get the victory. City League was very, very good experience for us.
Interesting. So playing in the City League, you know, puts you ahead of your peers.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I've been meaning to ask this. You know, now that I have you here, I'm going to ask you. That set that you guys had, I mean, that group that you guys have in Gilali, I watched you guys from where you lose with like 20 points to where you started losing with like 10 points to where you started losing with 5 points to the point where you won some major games that nobody would have expected you guys to win. And I mean, you guys had something very beautiful going on. But what happened? All of a sudden, you went here, you went there, Tony went here, Seth went somewhere else. What happened? What caused that disbandment?
I will not say something literally happened, but it's part of basketball. When like the player grows up and starts an academy, obviously you can't stay with that academy till the end of your career. There's a move ahead, and we all know that players grow up. So I think at some point, some certain players have their own reason. Okay, I think it's not working here for me again. Let me try something else. Let me try something else. I think so. That's basically it. Everybody try to find another way out from playing here. Maybe we have been playing Gilali for how many years, and it's not going the way you want it to go. Maybe let me try. What's next? Let me try something else.
That's like moving from the pond to the ocean.
That's what most of the guys.
So you became a big fish.
Not really, but not really, but we are still going higher. We're still soaring higher.
Definitely. So bringing back to the present day, which tournament or at what point did you think that you have gone into the big leagues, like you are now a big player?
For me, it was CBS Tournament. I think CBS Tournament brought my name a little bit high, to some extent, because I was not even expecting to play in the CBS Tournament for Markdown Flyers. I think shout out to Kotapara and Kato King.
Yeah.
They gave me the platform to play for Markdown Flyers. Shout out to our boss too, Manasseh.
Yeah. And then you had the opportunity to play with big guys like Ibe, Godwin, Lucky Subel.
It was a good experience. I think that was like the first time I'm playing with 4 set of guys who are in top
national team
players.
Yeah,
I think that's the first time I played with these guys that are in top level. And it actually carried my experience to another level a little bit, and it really helped me.
So how was your relationship with those big guys? You know, because you're far younger. You're like 2 generations behind those players that you mentioned, including guys like Kato guys. You know, you're like 2-3 generations behind them. How was the relationship? Were you accepted? Because most times you're even running point guard for them.
Yeah.
So for them to even allow you run the ball, how was the relationship?
For me, playing basketball is like having courage and having mind. If you're a player that you don't want to talk, you don't want to communicate to your teammates, it will be very hard for you to communicate to other guys that you that are playing the same way. So I think I had the courage to like comment with them, talk to them, on what I understand about my own game, how I would want to play my own game and everything. So I think they gave me the platform like, okay,
do your thing.
We know how you play, we know what you can do, express yourself and play. So I think that's where I got a little bit courage talking to them more, especially Katuga. He gave me the morale to like, we know your game, do this thing. I think that's where everything happened. Nice playing with them.
Yeah, so still on the CBS Tournament. Was it the semi-finals? Quarterfinals. Markdown Flyers versus City Chiefs. I think you guys were 2 points down.
Yeah, we were 2
points
down.
2 points down. Was it 5 or 7 seconds to go?
It was 9 seconds to go.
9 seconds to go. And you faked an injury.
Yeah.
And then
the whole scenario played out like this. I think it was 9 seconds to go. They had the possession.
Yes.
They came down because they made a turnover. So at that point when the ball went out, we did not have any timeout left. My thinking
immediately was that we don't have a timeout, and I don't want us to rush the offense because I just say, let me just try and
be smart.
Be smart enough. And the purpose was not even going down to fake an injury. The purpose was just to like go down to like tie my shoelace and take a little bit of time, let us set up something. But Rev Ope was smarter enough to know that this guy wants to like try something. So it was not coming like to stand up, tie my shoelace, and I sat down.
So that medical
I was not planning for the medical to come on the court, because anyhow the medical comes on the court, I must take a sub.
And it's a must. So I was like trying to like fake the injury immediately then, so that everything is set up, then get up immediately. But before I could even realize, the medical ran onto the court without nobody calling him. And I was very, very pissed.
But again, in that moment, personally, knowing you to be one of the smart guys, I was explaining to somebody that sat close to me that this is what you're trying to do. And what I was expecting your coach to do at the time was to huddle the rest of the players. Call a play, do something
very quick.
But he was upset and he was shouting at you.
And immediately I
and then you had to take a sub because the medical had come in.
On the court.
Yeah.
Immediately I took that sub. They said I should go back to the bench. And the normal Nigerian FIBA rule, if you take a sub like that,
there has to be an interval of
possession. And we
ran
that possession. I think Lucky Subel put the ball to the half court and gave the ball to Kato.
Yeah.
He shot a 3 and he missed. That's how we lost that quarterfinal.
But I mean, it was an epic game. It was an epic game. A lot of people said it was the finals before the finals. And you already know the rivalry between City Chiefs and Markdown Flyers, 2 Benue teams. Yeah, so that's another gist for another day. Yeah. So for me personally, I would say your breakout season, although a lot of people were still looking at you with the eyes of the young Thomas. But me, that was when I realized that, this guy is amazing. It was during the last Division 2 you played. I think you played for Nasara Solid. I was keeping the stats during that tournament, and you were scoring. You were averaging 25 points and 12 rebounds, if I remember correctly. You had double points, double rebounds. That was what you were averaging consistently. And in some games, you had triple doubles.
Yeah, I had, I think,
2 games with triple doubles. So you had double-digit points, double-digit rebounds, double-digit assists.
So that was the game I came out with 10 steals.
10 steals
for
a triple-double, not even assist. So that was the moment I said, this guy is on a different level. Like
there's this thing playing with your peers. I think that's what goal player for me. Playing with your peers will give you more confidence in the game of basketball.
Yes.
Because most times people I know, if you are playing with people that are higher than them or people that are senior, like you are the rookie on the team.
Yeah.
It doesn't boost their morale playing the game. They'll feel like, if I come inside, if I give a pass, a turnover, I don't want anybody to shout at me. I don't want this, but that's not how it should be normally. For me, play with my peers gives me more confidence to do what I want to do and enjoy the game of basketball.
So, being the hot boy that you are now, golden boy, I know in the past year or a year or two, you have played for like all the major teams in Abuja, Markdown Flyers, Hotco, Mohi's, this
Titans.
You played for Titans, yeah. I think you played a couple of games for Apo Settlers, or you didn't play for Apo Settlers, and then you played for GVBF. Yeah. So through moving around those teams, what's your biggest lesson that you've learned playing for different coaches and mingling with different players and in different championships?
I have like two things. For me, one is risk taking. Okay. There are some teams you play for and you be like, should I play here? I think there was one time I contacted you about a decision making I had to make.
Yeah.
Let's not go into details. But so there are some decisions you make as a basketball player that at the end it will favor you, but at some end it will not favor you. So moving from one team to another, it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed in some people's career that just stick with one team and play through. But we all know our Nigeria system.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe there will be a particular tournament
that one team is not participating.
Yes. And you can't leave yourself isolated while your peers are
playing and going forward. And then playing back-to-back games helps you even to improve your game.
And the other thing I learned is coaching. You have to adapt to different style of coaching. Coaching under having the game to play under different coaches and having the ability to go to their instructions. It's another thing to learn. You can't play. Let me give an example of two coaches now. The way Hotco coach Habib, the way he coaches, and the way let's use coach Apara. I won't compare their style of coaching as the same. They have different style of coaching, and you have to adapt to it. There's no way you say, this is not how Coach Habib coach. I will not learn that exactly. You have to, and me, my own style of game is if you have the ball, you have to run the court. And you will not have that privilege to do that in all the whole teams you play for. No coaches want. Some coaches need set plays. Some coaches want to run the ball. So you have to adapt to different style. Different style of game.
That's nice. That's nice. So it means it takes a very smart player actually to be able to play a different style today under a different structure and setting, and then change and next. Because I've seen you play in some games where you play points.
Game and play off the board.
Exactly. So well, just to chip it in, I've seen you play with your brother. If you're playing with your brother, he plays points, you play off the ball. So I mean, you're a golden boy, star boy, and you're very dynamic. So as it is now, what are you looking forward to at this level of basketball that you're playing?
Now, in the country we have, there's nothing going on.
Sadly.
Sadly. Like you said, your last.
Sadly. So players that have gone, for instance, players that have played Milo need something that they can play, but there's a gap in between. There has been no Division 2. Players that are playing these little leagues are looking forward to something they can play, but there's no Division 1. Players that are not good enough to play in the main league yet there's no Division 1 for them to play. And even the main league lasts only a week, at most 2 weeks. So it's actually very sad that we find ourselves in
now.
such
I'm looking
place.
for we have been waiting for Division 1 for
2 years or 3 years now.
We have not gotten. We still keep on waiting.
Yeah.
Inshallah, anyone that comes up,
you play.
will play. So basically, the next coming years, by the grace of God, everybody wants to be a professional basketball player. That's what I'll just say. To be a professional basketball player and earn money to feed your family.
To the highest
I mean, that's just the basic of it. To be a professional and get where you make your money, come and feed your family and give back to where you started from.
That's true.
That's just
all right. So, last words. You've grown from the grassroots and to this level now. Okay. So maybe you are not there yet. Maybe you are not at the very top yet. But from the level that you are now, what word of encouragement or advice do you have for players who are at the level where you started from? Yes.
First thing is consistency. You have to be consistent. That's the major thing for me. I have two things, but being consistent is one of the major things. There are some people who started, they might play as well. I started playing with power forward with none of them are playing basketball at this moment currently. Like, so you have to be
and they might be even better than you at that time.
Yeah, at that time. But now, none.
You can't compare.
No, not playing active basketball now. So you have to be consistent. If you want to play the basketball to the level you know that okay, I'm playing professional basketball, you have to be consistent with the game. And secondly, school and basketball. Can't put all in your efforts in basketball. Thinking basketball will do this for you, you are not going to school. You have to go to school and you have to play basketball at the same time. So consistency and while going to school and playing basketball. Those are the things I would say to those who are
so where are you schooling currently? How is basketball like in your school?
I'm schooling in Federal University Lafayette.
Okay.
Basketball there, I won't say is on the top level. It's a new school, 2013. And it's still trying to come up. So we are trying to, like this semester now we're going to have like an all-star game coming up. So we're going to invite people to come and our court is not that on the high level, but by the grace of God we see how things goes and push it up.
All right. Nice to have you here, Thomas.
Thank you very much.
And looking forward to see you at the top most level of basketball, not just in Nigeria but outside the country, as far as it can take you. And you have the potentials, you have what it takes, and I'm really looking forward to see you at the top. And like you said, consistency. So keep being consistent, keep growing, and keep being a better player.
Thank you so much.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned a 2 or 3 from this story, and see you on the next one.
Thank you for having me.